After decades of standoffs, thousands of troops, and a bitter history of conflict, India and China just struck a deal that could reshape Asia's future. This agreement along the line of actual control, or LAC, promises to change the course of their long-standing rivalry. But the question is, can it really last? In today's deep dive, we'll uncover why this agreement matters, what it could mean for Asia and the world, and who might stand to gain or lose. And if this is your first time on Waukee Insights, hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest on global power shifts. The world watched with bated breath as a significant chapter in international relations unfolded. After decades of mistrust, military buildups, and occasional skirmishes, the tension between these two nations seemed insurmountable. The 1962 Sino-Indian War left deep scars, and subsequent clashes, such as the 2017 Doklam standoff, only added to the animosity. Yet, in a surprising turn of events, India and China, two Asian giants, announced a landmark peace deal that could change the course of history. This deal is not just a diplomatic gesture, but a strategic move with far-reaching implications. Signed on October 26, 2024, this agreement aims to finally resolve their long-standing border dispute, a conflict that has persisted for over half a century. The LAC, stretching over 3,488 kilometers, has been a flashpoint for numerous confrontations. This historic accord has the potential to reshape the geopolitical landscape of Asia and the world, influencing not just regional stability, but global peace. Analysts suggest that this could be a pivotal moment in the 21st century's geopolitical chess game. Is this the dawn of a new era of peace and cooperation, or just a tactical pause in a long-running rivalry? The stakes are incredibly high. Both nations have nuclear capabilities, making their relationship crucial for global security. The agreement is not just about border demarcation. It encompasses a broader vision of mutual respect and collaboration. It includes provisions for joint military exercises, economic partnerships, and cultural exchanges. It represents a potential shift in the strategic calculus of both nations, signaling a willingness to engage in dialogue rather than conflict. This could lead to a reduction in defense expenditures, allowing both countries to focus on development. It also underscores the changing dynamics of global power, where diplomacy and negotiation are becoming more valued than military might. The rise of multilateral organizations and international forums has made peaceful conflict resolution more feasible. The world is watching closely to see if these two powerful nations can truly turn a new page in their relationship, setting a precedent for resolving conflicts through peaceful means. The success of this agreement could inspire other nations with territorial disputes to seek diplomatic solutions. If successful, this agreement could pave the way for increased economic cooperation, cultural exchange, and a more stable Asia. The possibilities are endless, but only time will tell if this new dawn will bring lasting peace. The economic potential alone is staggering, with both nations being major players in global trade and technology. The roots of the India-China border dispute run deep, tracing back to the colonial era. For over a century, the two countries have inherited an ambiguous and disputed border, a line drawn with little regard for the complex geography and ethnic tapestry of the region. This contentious boundary is a legacy of the British Empire's cartographic whims, where arbitrary lines on a map have led to decades of tension. This unresolved boundary, stretching over 2,000 miles through some of the most challenging terrains on Earth, has been the source of constant friction and occasional conflict between the two nations. The 1962 war, a humiliating defeat for India, left a deep scar on the Indian psyche, a wound that has yet to fully heal. Since then, both countries have engaged in massive military buildups along the border, transforming the region into one of the most militarized zones in the world. The 2020 clash in the Galwan Valley, resulting in casualties on both sides, was a stark reminder of the ever-present danger of escalation, highlighting the fragile nature of peace in the region. These historical tensions make the 2024 peace deal all the more significant, as it represents a rare moment of hope and a potential turning point in the long and troubled history of India-China relations. The 2024 peace agreement is a comprehensive document outlining a roadmap for resolving the border dispute. It includes a mutual disengagement plan from key friction points along the line of actual control. The agreement also establishes mechanisms for dialogue and confidence-building measures. The agreement emphasizes the need for a phased approach. This allows both sides to gradually build trust and address the more contentious aspects of the border dispute over time. While the specifics of the agreement remain confidential, its core principles offer a glimmer of hope for a peaceful future. A shift in the global chessboard. The India-China peace deal sends ripples across the global geopolitical landscape. It potentially alters the balance of power in Asia and beyond. The United States, which has been seeking to strengthen ties with India as a counterweight to China, is closely observing the implications of this deal. Other Asian powers, such as Japan, Australia, and Southeast Asian nations, are also assessing the potential impact on regional security. Russia, a traditional ally of India, is navigating the evolving dynamics with caution. This peace deal has the potential to reshape alliances and partnerships in the region. The promise of prosperity. Beyond geopolitics, the peace deal unlocks significant economic opportunities for both India and China. As the world's two most populous nations and fastest-growing major economies, their combined economic might is formidable. The agreement paves the way for increased trade, investment, and infrastructure development. The deal could lead to a reduction in military spending along the border. This would free up resources for other priorities. It could also facilitate greater cooperation in areas like technology, renewable energy, and climate change. However, realizing this economic potential requires sustained commitment and the successful implementation of the peace agreement. The dragon and the elephant, can they coexist? The peace deal represents a significant step towards a more stable and prosperous future for both India and China. However, historical baggage, strategic mistrust, and unresolved territorial disputes cast a long shadow. The success of the agreement hinges on the ability of both nations to overcome these challenges. Building lasting peace requires more than just signing agreements. It demands sustained dialogue, transparency, and a willingness to compromise. Both countries must address the underlying sources of tension, including historical grievances and strategic competition. Only then can true and lasting peace be achieved. Fault lines, potential threats to peace. While the peace deal offers hope, several potential pitfalls could derail the fragile peace. The border dispute itself, with its complex terrain and conflicting claims, remains a potential flashpoint. Even minor incidents along the line of actual control could quickly escalate, reigniting tensions and undermining the peace process. The presence of other unresolved issues, such as Tibet and the Dalai Lama, further complicates the relationship. The growing military asymmetry between the two countries, with China's rapid military modernization, could also create imbalances and fuel mistrust. The success or failure of the India-China peace deal has profound implications for the entire world. A stable and cooperative relationship between the two Asian giants is essential for global peace and prosperity. Conversely, renewed conflict between India and China would have devastating consequences. It would destabilize the entire region, trigger a global economic downturn, and exacerbate existing geopolitical tensions. It could even lead to a new Cold War, with the world divided into competing blocs. The stakes are simply too high for this crucial peace deal to fail. The international community has a crucial role to play in supporting the ongoing India-China peace process. Diplomacy, dialogue, and confidence-building measures are essential to ensure the peace agreement's long-term success. International organizations can provide a vital platform for continued engagement and mediation efforts. However, while encouraging peace, the world must also remain ever vigilant. Trust between India and China must be earned through concrete actions, not just diplomatic words. Verification mechanisms and constant monitoring of the border situation are essential to prevent misunderstandings and ensure compliance with the peace agreement. The India-China peace deal represents a potential turning point in their relationship. It is an opportunity to move beyond the legacy of mistrust and conflict and embrace a future of cooperation. If successful, it could usher in a new era of peace and prosperity for both nations and the wider world. However, the path to lasting peace is long and arduous. It requires sustained effort, compromise, and a shared vision for the future. The world must remain cautiously optimistic while acknowledging the challenges ahead. The future of Asia, and indeed the world, may depend on the success of this historic peace deal. In the end, this peace deal between India and China could represent either a historic step toward lasting peace or a short-term pause in a long rivalry. What happens next will depend on how both nations handle future disputes, their engagement with global allies, and their ability to manage domestic pressures. But one thing's clear: Asia's future, and by extension the world's, is tied closely to how India and China interact, either as rivals or partners. Here's hoping they choose the path of peace for the sake of the region and the globe. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to subscribe to Mwaki Insights to stay informed on the shifting sands of geopolitics. And hey, share this with a friend who'd appreciate some high-quality world news. And let us know in the comments below. Do you think this peace deal will hold, or are we looking at a strategic timeout?